Well, hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Ascension Playground. This is your friend Ursi, and I'm offering a part 2 to this wonderful chat I'm having today, right in this lunar eclipse energy with Elizabeth HeartStar. She's out in Sedona, Arizona, in the United States, and I'm calling in from California. And it's quite an auspicious portal that we're sitting in with this lunar eclipse, a total lunar eclipse, full blood red moon. And so go back and listen to our previous chat that we just had on this eclipse energy. But this part is Elizabeth sharing her amazing oracle deck. And so welcome back, Elizabeth. Tell us more about your reading that you did for this eclipse.
Yes, well, thank you. Well, you know what? It was my friend in Glastonbury's birthday actually in August, but I wanted to do a reading, and I was like, I'm gonna do, I made this Astro-Oracle deck. Um, it was finally published because I created it in 2005, but it was finally published in 2016 on an eclipse in September. September 16th. It arrived at my place in Sedona on September 16th of 2016, and it was an eclipse. And and I was like, oh my gosh, and this is actually the background of this is the Milky Way. It's a NASA photos. And so the Astro-Oracle deck that I made, this is the kind of logo of it is the zodiac and the earth in the middle. And the cards are photos from NASA of the planets. And so it was very exciting. And so my dear friend Lori, um, who's in Glastonbury, I was like, okay, I'm going to do a reading for this lunar eclipse. And it was like a gift for her too. But I felt like I sent it to Ursi because I was like, it was so amazing, as you'll see, because I was like, how did this happen? That I had her tell me when to stop and put them, the way that I do it. And you'll see the first card was the I am. Oh, that's uh Yangtze, grandmother Yangtze and HeartStar, who wanted to come and say hello. And this is the Sedna card from my deck. And that symbol of Sedna appeared to me after a prayer drumming circle that I was asked every noontime we would do at the Sedona Heart Center on March 15th of 2004. And I dedicated the drumming to Sedna, who was announced on the radio as the 10th planet, which it's not the 10th planet, but it is the furthest out planet in our solar system that we know of, and is the messenger from the stars, who hasn't been this close to Earth from between 11,400 years to 12,000 years. So Sedna, the goddess of the sea, I put a merge because I felt this symbol has to do with Venus being kind of breech birth, like she doesn't want to come up, from the blood of her fingers. And we talked a lot about this blood moon in the video we did earlier about the total eclipse, about the blood moon. And Sedna is known as the reddish, the reddest of the planets, almost as red as Mars. I don't know how the astronomers could see that. And so it's Sedona without the O in the middle. And I really feel Sedna, this symbol is about Venus, the moon, the grandmother, the feminine, the water saying, it's time for you to come up. And she's like, no, I'm safe down here at the bottom of the ocean with all the sea life that I gave birth to. But it's time for Sedna to emerge. And that's why this amazing visitor, galactic visitor from almost 12,000 years ago has come to remind us because it was the last ice age 12,000 years ago. And it's like, I feel like it's the Earth Mother saying, wake up, humanity. Nature is stronger than you, and I don't want to cover you like what happened. Let's wake up and let's honor your mother, the waters, the blood of your mother who gave you birth.
Wow.
So
Can I just interject? So, sometimes when we think of blood, we think, but it is the water of life.
yes,
Without our blood and oxygen, there would be no human or animal life. And I just want to do a reminder. Didn't you tell me that Pam Gregory, astrologer, and Kelly Hunter, they both love this glyph that was you channeled it through, right? This
yes,
idea of,
you
yeah,
did. They
looks like Venus going into the water.
both invited me to have a little private Zoom with them, which was incredible.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Ursi, for because I feel this symbol, it's not me, it's not about me, but it was incredible how in this drumming the symbol came. And I'm not somebody that usually gets symbols. And when I read the mythology of Sedna, it made so much sense, that it was the feminine was cut off 12,000 years ago. Before that, it was more of a matriarchal society where the mother, the earth, was honored. And so I feel like now she's coming back saying, you've got to honor your mother earth. She gives you everything. Don't take from her. She'll give it to you. The water, the air, the earth, the fire. It's all, the elements. Without our Earth Mother, we wouldn't be alive without our Father Sun giving life. So,
Right.
I mean, this eclipse. So, thank you for sharing this because when the symbol came, I said, "How do I get this symbol to be used?" Because Sedna, this is Sedna's symbol. It's not mine, and that she's a red planet. So this is not a photo of Sedna. All the other photos, except for Chiron and Sedna and Eris, because I don't have photos of them, are the only cards in my deck that are not photos from NASA of the planets, but the others are photos so that the energy. So thank you. Thank you so much because I just feel like it's I love the symbol. It's like I want people to love it, not about me, but about it
Right.
like it's
It's almost like when the collective is ready, the glyph or the symbol appears. And if you're an open vessel and ready to receive, like you weren't asking for the symbol, it came through drumming. So
yeah,
it's this idea that when the collective is ready to receive, someone will receive it. If you hadn't, perhaps it would have gone to another receptive um, person to bring it forward to the collective. But on the same page, we have Grandmother Yangtze and HeartStar. So you are the guardian or keeper of two crystal skulls. I think you mentioned HeartStar is Palladian.
yes,
And
Heartstar, and I know this is true now. I knew Heartstar came through from the stars, but three amazing channels, especially Kathleen Kingdon, who channels the Tibetan master Dwal Kul. When I had a session, I said, Dwal Kul, I feel your presence. And I was told in a channeling before Heartstar arrived that you come through Heartstar and other people um, have known this as well. Is this true? Oh, yes, no one ever asked me this before. He said it was another lifetime before I was Master Dwal Kul. He doesn't call himself master actually, but that they came through this group of eight Himalayan, and they're small, like the size of an orange or a lemon, came through from the Pleiades to the earth, and I, in my other lifetime, had Heartstar. I don't know if I didn't ask if all of them came into my presence, but I did not keep anything in that lifetime. But I was there for the ritual from the Pleiades to the earth when these crystal skulls came. And I was like, wow. So, and how amazing that Sedna and Uranus are aligning to the brightest star in Alcyon, right? In the Pleiades right now.
Wow.
Will be for a number of years. Sedna will be conjunct the Alcyon for many, many years, and Uranus will for the next couple years, I think it is, or at least a year or more. So when that message came, it was like, wow. I mean, I feel very blessed, and I know it's because I'm able to receive the messages. You know, I've never liked calling myself a clairvoyant, or I even put psychic recently on a business card. I was like, oh my gosh, but we all are. And
Yeah.
it's we all are. It's you know, and I've said to people, it's just some doubt what they receive and others don't doubt. And I'm not doubting anything anymore. You know, it's just like we're all, it's like the crystal skulls to be are saying, wake up, you're crystalline beings. You know, crystal is from the water, right? It's frozen water in our earth. Yeah.
Yeah. So now here's a picture of your deck, and you pulled a reading for this total lunar eclipse of September 7th, 2025. So if you're listening to this in the future, not to worry. This energetic is carrying us in some cases through to the end of the year. So hold this lightly that it's not like overdue. But if this reading tune into what Elizabeth has to share, because working with the visuals and the glyphs and having created an Astro-Oracle card deck, it's fascinating. So tell us the question that you asked of the cards to pull this.
Well, it was, you know, the message of what is this message for this total lunar eclipse and of coming into for the healing, the ancestral healing. And do you have a little pointer, like a little red
I do.
pointer?
Can you
Okay. Oh,
help
yeah,
me?
there. Because the
Okay.
first card, because some people might not know where the first house card is, which is
Okay.
the 11th house. So it's not the one in the middle. That's the last 13th card. But in the Aries position over to the left. Yeah, right there. So the
Okay.
first card, and I do a zodiac reading. I do the 12 cards and the 13th in the middle, which is the most significant. So the first card is I am Aries. So it's saying I am, and it's the 11th house, which is
Oh
the
my
house of
goodness.
Aquarius. And I put I manifest because Aquarius is about coming together with others of like mind to manifest our visions for the future and future generations. So that was the first card. And then for the second card in Taurus's house, I have for the Aquarius card to come when you know, which is just
Beautiful.
like saying, okay, I have it. You know, my values, the second house of Taurus. What are your values? They're Aquarian values. They're values, new values of awakening to our galactic heritage, to our cosmic soul family coming together for this new Aquarian age. And then the next card in Gemini, I couldn't believe that the three cards for Aquarius is Uranus, who's just went into Gemini and is in Gemini's house. So to have the house of Aquarius, the first card, the sign of the Aquarius is the second card, and the third card, Uranus, in the house of Gemini, I was like, oh my gosh, did I mix these cards up or did I put, I mean, how did that happen? I've had three cards of each sign come up in readings, and I always go, this is the major message. You've got all three, the house, the sign, and the planet for that sign. And so it's all about Aquarius. It's all about that we are bringing in, we are at the shift of the ages. Pluto is not going to go back into Capricorn for, you know, we're in Aquarius, and these next 19 more years, which is again an eclipse cycle, which is interesting, right? Is going to be in Aquarius, Pluto. So it's like it's not an easy place, Aquarius, because it's the radical revolutionary. Uranus is the only planet that what it's on its side or something, right? It doesn't, it's bringing in the new, the awakening, the consciousness in Gemini and Uranus in the house of Gemini. I was like, whoa. And then in the fourth house, which I look at in the reading as this is the home, the family, the tribe, but I also look at this card as what is being birthed, what is in the womb. It's the house of the moon. What's being birthed in the womb of the mother of this moon, right? And this being the total solar eclipse is Vesta. And when I made the deck, really tuned in because I only used the four first discovered asteroids. And when I tuned into them, I was like, oh, wow, they're the elements in their feminine expression. And I was like, so for me in the deck, I put the fire goddess is Vesta, and I have dedication and devotion on the card that she's dedicated and devoted to being a pure vessel channel. She's the priestess energy or priest energy that just wants to shine the light. So that's what's in the womb of this moon is our dedication and devotion to being vessels of the light. And then in the house of Leo, the fifth house, which is the house of the heart and of creativity and self-expression and what brings us joy and pleasure. And there's the Virgo house saying, I serve, I want to be of service to help the virgin earth come into purity, to make sacred. That's Virgo. I want to put things in order so that it works, so that we're digesting, assimilating, purifying. I want to serve our Mother Earth, our Virgin Earth, who's given us everything. And then in the next card in Virgo's house, the house of service, health, and healing, the card that came up is Pisces. And here we are. The total lunar eclipse is in Pisces in the house of Virgo. And I was like, whoa, this is like amazing, this reading. And so I look at the card in the Virgo house is that has to do with your what you're working on for service, health, and healing, and what needs to be continued and worked on more. And it's Pisces, just surrendering to the great mystery, the cosmic ocean where we come together as one Neptune. Just, when I see Pisces, it's like, I believe, okay? It's like, just trusting spirit is guiding us. And then in the seventh house card, in our relationships with others, there's Virgo. And here we are again, this lunar eclipse. I mean, I didn't, it was like, wow, did I like, I had my friend Lori say, I shuffled and I separated them and she told me which ones to put on top. So it was like Virgo. Oh my gosh, it's like are healthy relationships. Relationships are, relationships with others that are healthy and whole and are of service to one another. Virgo, friends. I mean, that's what Aquarius is. Friendships. We just want them, friendship is like the highest relationship. You have to have that Aquarian friendship. And I feel like the Virgo is like, I want to serve and I want my relationships to be healthy and I want to serve the relationship. So I love the Virgo and the Pisces in Virgo and here's the lunar eclipse of Pisces and Virgo. Wow. Amazing. And then in Scorpio's house, which I studied with this amazing astrologer in outside of Glastonbury named Gloria Bowles, and she called herself a karmic astrologer. And she always had the eighth house. She said that's the house of the ancestors. And it makes so much sense that Scorpio is the house of the ancestors because it's the house of what we've inherited, right? It's the house of death and rebirth and what really supports us, but it's our ancestors. And it's also that Scorpio bringing to light what's been lost from our ancestral, where Leo, like, let's shine the light of our true ancestors, what we, the heart, the sun, of our ancestors and our galactic ancestors, as well as our blood ancestors, were healing that. So, I mean, bringing light to Pluto, right? I thought, wow, this reading is just amazing. That's why I sent it to you. I was like, this needs to be shared. So thank you, Ursi. And then in Sagittarius's house, which is, the house of our spiritual journey, our connection with our guides, our the the wisdom keepers, our truth, our wisdom, our freedom, and Neptune. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. Isn't that interesting? Neptune is this blue, gorgeous, blue violet planet. That's a photograph from NASA. And I put visualize on the chart, I mean, on the card. I never know what to say with Neptune. It's like, I think I had transcend, visualize. I mean, it's the vision. It's like opening to the galactic, the higher visions. Neptune, which is not of the earth, which is known as the higher octave of Venus. And then look, Venus came up in Capricorn's 10th house, which is the house of, okay, what am I contributing in the world? What am I building? How am I being seen? And there's Venus. Look at how golden. And it's like Neptune and Venus close together. Whoa. I mean, that's beautiful. I was like, this is incredible. So we're sharing our love, you know? We're contributing, we're building love, love being the greatest power, the greatest healer. And so this spiritual love of Neptune and the physical love and beauty and art of Venus to love one another. Wow. And then in the 11th house, Aquarius's house, the moon. And so I look at the card because the Aquarius house represents coming together with others of like mind that are colleagues, that are visionaries, that want to make things better for the future and future generations. But it's also the house of manifesting. That's why the first card we got is I manifest, the 11th house. And how do we manifest this? Is through the moon. And here is this total eclipse of the moon. The total eclipse of the moon. That's a great song, too. Um, which says, reflect on what's nurturing. And the moon holds our stories of our grandmothers, of our ancestors. It's like we all have stories to tell. So it's like, what's nurturing for you? Listen to what your needs are and sharing those together. And then in the 12th house, and I always look at the 12th house card because it's the dream time. I look at the card that represents the message from our dream time, from the higher self, from the cosmic ocean. What is this Pisces message that we're getting on this lunar eclipse moon? Which is act, Mars, take action, you know? And Mars is the blood in the body. So here's the total eclipse of the blood moon. And look at opposite the Pisces house is Pisces is in Virgo, in the house of Virgo. So it's like activating our Pisces great cosmic awareness where we're all connected. And then the 13th middle card, which is the most significant card, is Mercury, the messenger, the communicator. So I was like, wow, I had to send this to you. And so thank you for sharing it because it was just like, wow, that's pretty wild. I kept on saying, this is like the best reading ever. And like what we talked about in the video earlier, about the total solar eclipse. What an incredible magical time this is. And you've got the blood moon right behind you. That's the blood moon. Yeah.
Fascinating. As you as you know, Mercury is one of the few beings that can go to the heights of Mount Olympus and can go into the depths of hell. So it is communication, but it's communication on all dimensions, you know. So it's fascinating. It's communicate, but also it's this idea of receiving messages too to communicate. So
Yeah.
it really pairs so beautifully from what others are saying about Pisces Virgo, like activate, you know, that Mars in the 12th house, activate the dream of this idea of a compassionate, loving community that's based on ancestral blood lineage is from a time of, I like to say, Camelot. Like, we didn't always used to be this polarized. We didn't always, you know, have the friction of duality killing one another, right? There must have been a time, and maybe it goes into Lemuria, you
Yes.
know, in the land of
Golden,
Mu,
golden age.
where we were just learning how to be in physicality, but there was an energy and we weren't a singular, we were more collective. So maybe this is what wants to come back. When I saw that reading, it's like, so it's powerful to see one, your card deck, two, for newcomers to astrology, what Elizabeth just did was bring us around the wheel and help understand what the houses mean with the flavor of the card. So it's beautiful because that axis of Virgo Pisces energetic archetypes really did pair so well with what we talked about rationally from the conscious mind. But the cards have a way of, with your beautiful glyphs and the images, it's like, wow, thank you, because you're modeling how to attune to cosmic wisdom through a card reading.
Yes, thank you. And you know, I just realized when you were talking about Mercury that Mercury's in Virgo right now, conjunct the sun, which is conjunct the south node on this lunar eclipse. Mercury in the sign of Virgo. It's, you know, happy there.
Yeah, when I saw the Mars card in the 12th house, I thought, do we even remember how to dream what we want into being? Will we allow our thoughts, instead of to be distracted or confused by all the noise that's around us in this, you know, we knew things were going to fall apart and break and structures would dissolve before they could be rebuilt. But I challenge myself oftentimes, what am I speaking into reality? What am I dreaming in? Like, what does my heart want? And you just told me before we started recording this that my part of fortune, my Arabic part of fortune, where I receive my blessings, really connects to this Sabian symbol of the flow of inspiration. You know, by myself, it's kind of a whole little project here. But when I'm with you or with another person who's on a similar wavelength, this flow of inspiration, like I'm getting goosebumps, or I'm like looking at your reading and going, oh, yeah, there's that and this and that. I can actually start practicing light languaging through graphics and sensorial um, feelings. And I had just taken Alan Steinfeld's remote viewing class. Many of us know Alan through his great work as an interviewer on all things esoteric and his recent book, Making Contact. But to be able to go non-local and to travel places outside my body and basically see through my full body, not just my eyes, to recall like this memory of, so back to Mercury as the 13th card, I can communicate not just what I see, but what I'm picking up and feeling in the moment. Boy, that was
Yeah.
a long little
Well, yes,
diatribe.
it's incredible. And you know, just like this what you said, the reminder of where are we putting our attention? Where's our mind, Mercury going? You know, I think this full moon is saying, let it dream, let it go to the highest, you know. It's like, where are you going to being mindful of the your thoughts and your words and where your mind is. And we
Yeah.
have these wonderful tools. There's so many out there of breathing into the heart and, so yeah, it's,
Yeah. And Mercury is the ruler of Virgo,
yeah.
right? So, this idea of our thoughts, our communications are the digestion of what we're taking in. And I was pushed something on Facebook about, are you really going to allow unhappy people who are chronically unhappy into your friend group? Really? So it's this idea of understanding that I'm becoming ultra sensitive with my Piscean energy as I'm shifting. And I have choices to make of where I put my body, where I put my thoughts, what I digest. Am I watching the news too much? Am I, allowing that in? And Pam Gregory often speaks of that too. Like, it's good to know what's happening out there, but I'm on my eagle's perch and I'm witnessing it. So that state of witness instead of victim consciousness, oh, I'm a victim of all these things happening in the world. No, we're witnessing this great birth of the new human coming forward. But that remote viewing and going non-local, that was fun because I'm seeing the stars, but I didn't know I could actually travel and have experiences like you do with channeling. Like, oh, let's go see what that Syrian gathering's all about that you mentioned, that the galactics are all going to Sirius at this time, this auspicious time of the eclipse.
I know. Amazing.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
a what a time. What a magical time.
And I love that you put the 13th card because, I work with the Merkaba and the Metatron's cube. And it's this idea of as Christ was like the 13th, 12 around the one. It's very much about origin star stories, about how life going through the Vesica Piscis. And it's the 12 around the one. And our one today with this eclipse is Mercury, the
Yeah.
ruler of Virgo.
Yes. Fantastic.
So if people are interested in learning more about your amazing card deck, do they go to your website? Tell us more about that.
Okay. Well, my older website is astro-oracle.com, just like can you see that? Is it written?
Yeah, beautiful deck.
It has a dash, astro-oracle.com. But I did just create this year the Sedona Red Door Retreats, with an S.com. And on that, I have, because I'm offering a course, I don't have a whole lot of Astro-Oracle decks left, so I'm actually going to teach a course of, which is going to start out basic astrology. And I'm very grateful that a wonderful astrologer, Gloria Starr, um,
What a name.
Gloria Starr, her astrology, the basics, and some of my writing, and another friend. This is like, I made it for a teaching tool, to learn
Yeah.
astrology. So on Sedona Red Door Retreats.com, I have a lot more about my deck than on my older astro-oracle.com.
We'll put the link below so people can find you.
Yeah.
It's very Aquarian how you're working with not just yourself and a designer, but calling in other people's wisdom to bring it forward. And it's always seemingly celestial with you. You know what I mean? Like, and you're wearing an ankh. So there we go.
Been able to take this off. I tried, but I got this in 2000, the first time I went to Egypt. And I take it was like, no, I have to wear the ankh always. It's like a part of me. I love the little ankh. I bought some for my friends. That's all I got when I went in 2000 on 9/9 of 2000. And,
Yeah.
yeah. And so here we are. It's going to be 999, on the 9th of the 9th, because year is 2005 is a 9. So
Well, I love that you're tracking the numbers. The
right
universe
after
knows.
this eclipse, 2 days, and I look at the full moons and the new moons as the 2 days before, the day of, and 2 days after. So the last day of this lunar eclipse will be 999, which is,
Wow.
we're
Ending,
shedding the
ending,
old.
ending. Completion, completion.
Yes.
Yeah, to get to the next octave of 10. So the one that's gone around the circle.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Elizabeth. I hope you'll come back and join me when it feels right in divine timing here on the Ascension Playground. Take care, everybody, and thank you.
Bye.